welcome again on board. It's another brand new edition, and I am so happy to be here to talk to you today. And I'd like you to stay tuned, and please, if you've not done that before, push on the subscribe button right at the bottom and share this video to your friends, to those who aspire in doing medicine in Japan. And please like and leave any comments or anything that you would like us to talk about and to discuss. All right. Thank you for doing that. I know you're a very good person, and that's why I was like silent. So today we will talk about something which is very, very important. And I know a lot of people have been asking me like, oh, Chris, so how really does the matching goes? Today I decided to talk about it, and I would like you to retain or to remember 4 major things about matching in Japan as a physician who is trained in another country. So in Japan, even if you are trained as a Japanese in a foreign country, you still pretty much have to go through this system, maybe but for the fact that you don't need to, show like the Japanese medical proficiency for a language. So you might not need to show that, but the other things, of course, you need to do step by step, just as I'm going to outline in this video. So please stay tuned right up to the end, as there's a lot of information that you will learn about. In this video, I'm going to talk about matching. And the Japanese matching, of course, as we all know, in the US or in the UK and in Australia, it's a process where all physicians have to go through in order to be able to practice as licensing physicians in those countries. And I think it's very, very important. So it's something that we should have at the back of our mind, that we will always go through no matter where we want to do medical residency or practice as a physician. And in Japan, you need to go through this matching in order to get into a junior residency program. One thing that I would like for you to know is that in Japan, it's so good because you can go through this process as many times as possible. There is no limit, as in some countries there is limits for you to go through the matching process. So in Japan, actually there is no limit unless things change very soon, but you have the opportunity to go for a second and a third and even a fourth trial, as much as you cannot get the opportunity or the spot that you want. So you can fasten your belt and be rest assured that you wouldn't miss your opportunity into working in a Japanese hospital. I'm gonna leave some links in the description box below. There is 2 major sites that usually people use in order to find out for spots in residency positions. Is what we call ResiNavi. ResiNavi is quite famous, but MEC Japan is way more famous as well. So these 2 are the major sites that you can go in and you look for available sports and hospitals, that you could apply for your residency program. Yeah, I strongly advise you to do that. There is a couple of things that you want to consider, of course, when you are, looking for a hospital where you want matching. I think people always have their priorities, and priorities may vary and differ from person to person. So some people might be looking for a huge hands-on experience. Some people might be looking for a higher pay package. Some people might be looking for, life in the city. Some people might be looking for a more calm and, traditional lifestyle, which you will find in rural areas. So usually the major cities, they have generally many more hospitals, of course. They have many more opportunities, of course, but sometimes, there is high competition, and maybe the salaries might be less compared to rural areas. But one good thing is that if you go to medical university teaching hospitals, you will definitely be able to see very rare diseases, which is very interesting. But it also just depends on you. If you really want to see rare disease, then you can find them. Or if you're thinking like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna consult or diagnose several rare diseases in my clinical practice, then maybe you might not want to consider that as one of your top priorities. So it's really, really good to have that in mind. Let's go nitty gritty. The 4 major things that you need to consider when you're getting a residency position or when you're considering matching in Japan is: number 1, you have to do the online search in the sites that I just said, ResiNavi and MEC Japan. So you have to go on those sites, do a search, and see what hospitals are open for matching positions, and see the ones that you like and their location, their number of patients that they averagely see per month, the number of night shifts, maybe the salary range, and the number of staff or the number of physicians that have taken in the past. So all of that information is on those. So number one, that's what you have to do. So you must make sure you scout the internet very well and get all this information before you can proceed, because this information is quite important and necessary for your matching process. So once you found your online positions in the hospitals, the next thing you have to do is you have to visit these hospitals, all right? And there is, I would say, just one way you have to do that. The first thing is that you have to go to the official website of this hospital and the department maybe you plan to work in. Generally, I said in the previous videos that, once you're a junior resident, things like internal medicine are obligatory, so they're compulsory. So you want to book an appointment, as a resident physician who wants to visit the hospital. You book an appointment, and then they will accept and they will give you a time and a date where you will go there. Generally, a majority of the hospital, they will permit you to join in the ward rounds that day. So generally you should go in the morning, very early in the morning. You join in the ward rounds. Then after, you have an interview with the chief medical officer for that department or for the hospital. And sometimes the hospitals want you to take an exams. So in that case, if you went to ResiNavi, you could actually find some other doctors who pass through that same institution, and you can get mock papers from them and you can work with those to know exactly what you expect. All right, so sometimes some will just do an interview. Sometimes nowadays, because of COVID, it's remote, but generally majority, 90 and over % of the cases, they would want you to come to the hospital so that they can have a live or in-person interaction with you. Number 3 thing you have to actually do is take the actual interview. So the interview will come where you would go to the hospital after it's been programmed and scheduled, and you have it. You go to the hospital. So when you go to the hospital, please make sure you're prepared. Carry the necessary requirements that you think you might need. Your stethoscope, maybe your otoscope. The basic few things that a physician should have as pocket devices for emergency use. All right, you want to have that, and you want to carry them with you to the hospital. And then, depending on what the hospital wants, as I said earlier, it's either you can take an interview just plainly, or you can take an exams, and after they will ask you a few questions, and you can take part in their ward rounds and see how they generally take. So this is usually an opportunity for you to see if you like the hospital, you like the way the staff interacts with the patients, and the whole atmosphere that you wish to work there, if you like it or not. Remember, there are several hospitals that might accept to have an interview with you, so it's an opportunity for you to explore and choose what you actually like. Next thing you want to do is you want to register with a JRMP. So it's a Japanese residency matching program. So you have a website. I'm going to drop the link in the description box below. You register with them, all right? And once you register with them, what they do is they have your information, and then the hospitals as well are registered on this platform. So once the hospital like you, they will send you an approval through this platform, and they'll tell you that, we are accepting you, and you are, you have a spot, you've won a spot in our institution. Please come over and start your residency ASAP, or usually they'll give you a date that you can start. And that's how simple it is. And then you're gone, you start there, depending if it's in a rural area or it's in an urban area, depending on how you do the scheme. ResiNavi to get all this information. So basically that is it. And once you have their information, congratulations, you won your sport, and now you're about to start a 2 years journey for a junior resident. So to recap, there is 4 major things that you have to take into consideration. Number 1, you have to scour the internet through ResiNavi and MEC Japan, and to look for a hospital. Number 2 is that once you found a hospital, you have to book for an interview, make a reservation for an interview. And then third is that take part in an actual interview. And then the fourth thing is that once you finish that, make sure you register your information on JRMP, which is a Japanese residency matching program. Once you're done with that, congratulations, doctor, and welcome into medical residency in Japan. So that was it for today. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that anytime we put up some video, you will be the first to be aware of it. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.